1420 Productions, baby. My name is Tom, as in Gis, in the lab working. Just thought I'd come to y'all, talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of posts and hearing a lot of stories about artists and contracts and wanting to get out of their deals and having bad deals. And all I can give you is my story and my opinion on it. So 18, 19 years old, I signed my first record deal. It was a contract with Relativity Records. Fat Joe was there, Bone Thugs and Harmony was there, and I'm sure MOP was there at some point. I'm not sure if it was at the same time. Point being, I signed that contract without even reading the whole contract, without a lawyer reading the contract, and without a big advance up front. I was part of a group called The Daily News. Shout out to my bro Duke. Shout out to Wanda Booth, my bro Paul, my bro Chuck, and my bro Mose from Syracuse. We were part of a group called The Daily News. We signed a Relativity Records 1998-ish. Just so happy to have a deal, signed the shit. I don't know how many albums the shit was for. I don't know what my royalty rate was. I don't know if I own my publishing. I don't know if it was a 900 album deal. I was just so happy to be signed because at that time, saying, yo, I'm signed to a label, yo, such and such signed me, that held weight. I was so excited, so young, so thirsty to be on. I signed it. But I also understood that whatever came with it, I was willing to do. So if I had to turn in 7 albums and I didn't own none of my masters, I was cool with it. They were going to take the necessary steps to make me a star, steps that I could not take myself. The advance that they gave me, it was a group of us. If I got 2,000, 3,000 in increments, that's saying a lot. I didn't care. So I can't say they waved a bunch of money in front of my face and took advantage of me. They took advantage of the fact that I wanted a record deal. But I didn't necessarily feel taken advantage of. Like, I was just so happy, young, naive, whatever. But what happens is sometimes labels can wave some bread in front of your face, knowing your circumstances, knowing where you come from, knowing you've never probably seen that amount of money at one time. So somebody put a $75,000 check in front of you, knowing you from the projects, knowing you from the hood, you're going to take that 75. You ain't counting taxes, lawyers, manager. That 75 is 30 easy. Buy a pair of kicks and a chain, you're done. And you got to turn in 9 albums. And you don't get no publishing, and you don't. Cool. I was willing to take that because they were going to send me on tour. They were going to put me on billboards. They were going to put me on buses. I was going to have a street team. I was going to go to radio. They were going to take all the necessary steps to put me in position to sell the most records possible so they could make their money. I could be a star. To me, it was an even trade. I'm big on responsibility and taking responsibility for your actions at 17, 27, or 37. I was willing to deal with anything that came with signing that contract. Now, luckily, there was a merger, and I think Sony bought Relativity. I'm pretty sure it was Sony. They dropped all the last acts to be signed. We were one of the last 2 acts to be signed. We got dropped, so I signed the release. So from that point on, I've been independent, but I haven't had to deal with some of the horror stories that you hear about artists maybe on their 3rd or 4th album, shit, on their 2nd album sometimes, wanting off of the label because they don't feel like they're getting the right rates. They don't own their publishing. They don't own their masters. They don't own. But you took that upfront money. You took that initial deal. To me, just honor the contract. They don't want to renegotiate. You off. See, now that I'm on the other side of it, where I am a record label, I am a production company, I am a movie producer, I need people to sign contracts so I can do business with them. The difference between me and the tip, I explain everything, and I do basically 1-page contracts. Very simple, to the point. Whether there's money involved or not, it says it. It's clear. I give it to you. You can take it to your lawyer, take it to your manager, take whoever you need. Very transparent, clear understanding, and I think if major labels did that, there would be less of a outcry and backlash because they don't do that. There's no artist education on contracts. There's no artist education on the business. because you just want to be a star. You want to be a rapper. You want to be a singer. It's nobody's fault, because nobody held a gun on my head and made me sign my contract. Nobody held a knife to my back. I was so excited. Somebody thought I was talented enough to give me a deal. I took a deal. I got to take what comes with that. Now, on the flip side, independence, I've been on that side as well. It is extremely hard if you do not have the capital to compete. You need money to compete with these people. And it's 3 times the hustle, 5 times the money, 18 times the heartache. If you build for it, you build for it. But I'm just big on taking responsibility for my actions. So you decide. But at 19, I was a victim as well. But I wasn't. I signed the deal. I was happy to have the deal. It's nothing like, saying, yo, I got a deal. Yo, I'm signed with such and such. That comes with the game, man. So now I would tell young artists to read. At this point, not even being funny, but just with a little bit of reading, intelligence, and knowing how to use Google and understanding, because music has its own language. Law has its own language. And you can break down that language with your computer and your common sense at this point. So I would say use that. But understand, independent is not easy as well. Either way, there's going to be some heartache, some pain. There's going to be some reading, some grind, possible glory. So take responsibility for your actions. Wipe your ass before you get in the shower. Better Days out right now, Amazon Prime and YouTube. Better Days 2 has begun filming. We are on the way. Shout out to Mr. Meredith, Artie Clay, St. Ville.